I'm back from holidays. It's time to get to work. Let's go. Hi everybody, I am back in my studio. It is so exciting. I went to Japan for 3 weeks. It was so great. And you'll be able to see some of those videos that I put in, and man, was it inspiring, and it was great. And you know what? Sometimes just not painting for a while is inspiration all on its own, because now I am ready. So in the studio today, I have been evaluating what do I need to do, what orders came in over the 3 weeks that I was gone, what are my plans for the holidays, because it's October and it's mid-October and Christmas is coming, and I have some things ready, but I need to do a lot of things. I have some plans. I have a calendar that I'm going to show you next week that can be pre-ordered. Let me get it. I have ordered a whole bunch of these little wonderful frames from a company called Rustic Burl. They're going to be sending me some samples to try so that I can tell you all about them. But at this point, I am in love. I used these for my garden party and did a whole bunch of littles. And I actually have an idea. I'm going to do a monthly release of littles on my website. Why not? 5 to 10 every month. They're going to come out and they'll be available for purchase. So I've ordered my canvases. I've ordered more of these frames, and these frames take a bit. So I'm going to have to see if we can go pick them up instead of having them shipped, because they take about 4 to 6 weeks to get them. And that's going to take me into mid-November. But in the meantime, I've also got my curated square foot show coming up in November, and I put in about 15 pieces for that, and I have to work on those. I've got some already done, but I've got to do a whole bunch getting ready for November 11th. So I think it's November 11th. Don't quote me on that. I'll put it across the screen if it's not November 11th. And in the studio, I've got a few pieces up because I've had some custom orders. I've had some commissions be ordered. So I've got these up, and I'll try to do some filming for you and talk about each of these. These I've sketched out and I've inked, and I'm gonna get my palette ready. I'm using today my Masterson Stay Wet palette. A lot of you asked about this. So I'll show you, I soak it and then I put it in, and then I'll fill my palette with my fresh paint, which is the job, interestingly, that I hate the most. I don't know what it is. I find it a little dull. It's a little messy. I get paint all over myself getting my palette ready. But when my palette is ready, I am thrilled. But today I decided to use the Stay Wet because I'm going to be doing lots of work, and I wanted to have a larger surface to paint with. A lot of times I use this palette, which is a Mijello, and it has a cover that fits it really tight, and it keeps the moisture in. But this is how I left this palette before I went to Japan. And interestingly, some of the paint is still wet. That's pretty great. But most of it is not. So I'm just gonna be letting this dry out, and then it'll be really easy to peel all this off, and I'll be able to use this fresh. So I needed a palette right away, so I thought my Stay Wet Masterson. So let's load up the palette. I'm gonna show you how I'm sketching out a few 12 by 12s, and that's what we're gonna work on today. Have fun, come along. I use a wonderful Masterson Stay Wet palette. It is absolutely great. And sometimes I decide to use it because I need more space or something like that. But what you do is is you soak the sponge in hot water, and you also soak this amazingly strong paper for about 15 minutes. The first time I used it, I did not read the instructions well enough to say soak the paper for 15 minutes, but it really needs to be saturated. So then here I am, I'm squeezing out the foam, but I'm not squeezing it out dry. I still like it to be quite wet, and then I put the paper on top of it. Now, what I do find is that the wetter the sponge is, the thinner my paint gets over a couple of days. It really is a great way to keep your acrylics nice and moist. The lid snaps on perfectly and keeps everything really sealed. So here's my worst job. I just find putting it together, the palette is messy and crazy, and I have no rhyme or reason. Okay, so my palette is ready now, and I am going to get to work on 3 12 by 12s for you. I have the canvases were already painted red before I even got into the studio, so I was pleased about that. I could just get to work. Otherwise, I would use a cadmium red to prime them. I'm going to be doing a voiceover while it's a little sped up video of the color blocking stage that I'm doing next. So I'll probably talk through it or play some music, but I start with chalk, the chalk in my image. I ink in my image with a burgundy kind of paint, thinned out, and then I start the color blocking stage, which is what you're going to see on these 3. I'm having a blast with them, and you'll see as they come together just the color choices and the things like that, and I'll talk it through. Okay, let's get to it. So these are little 12 by 12 canvases. I actually get them at, no, I'm sorry. I was going to say I get them at Michael's. Sometimes I get them at Michael's, but these I actually had made for me by my printer. I ordered 40 before I went to Japan, and he put them together, and I get them in, and then either I paint them red, excuse me, or my husband paints them red for me in the garage, and then they're all ready, and I can just grab one and I can get going. So I use a cadmium red hue by Winsor & Newton as my base. I often tell people that I don't use a cheaper brand, because one time when I varnished after using a cheaper brand, the red came through everything, and all my whites, all my light colors turned pink, and I had to either scrap the painting or repaint the painting. So I use a quality color for what is called the ground. So I get rid of the red paint. I get rid of the white because it's not so scary. And I am not precious about how to apply that red. I just wipe it on. So you'll see streak marks. You'll see thinner areas. I just wash that stuff on with a big house painter's brush. Then you'll see, if you can see the white paint or the white lines. That's just chalkboard chalk. And I simply chalk in my image, and then you'll see a burgundy kind of paint. And what I've done there is just solidified my drawing, because if I start painting over just the chalk, I might lose the image. I might wash away the chalk, things like that. So the burgundy paint allows me to solidify my drawing, and also allows me to correct my drawing, because sometimes as the burgundy paint goes in, I'll see an error. So here I am in what I call color blocking. I pick up many colors on my brush as I am painting, and I usually start with the foreground. So that tree in the middle is the foreground, or the middle ground is the positive shape. And but on this one, because I'm kind of in a forest, the tree trunks are the positive shapes. So I've kind of started identifying where my darks are going to be and where my lights are going to be. And I think I instinctually did that because I need to know where the background is going to go, where the shadows in the front are going to go. So you can see I have a photo to the left, and I am referencing that lightly. I'm kind of squinting at it. I'm kind of seeing it. And I do look at it. I've eliminated certain trees. I've done my composition, but I am using it as my inspiration, I guess. And I'm kind of springboarding from that. That photo was a photo that I took in BC when we were hiking in BC. And honestly, I can use that reference material over and over and over and over again. I could go in really tight and just do branches. I could do the entire photo on a large painting. I could just pick little parts of it and really study how those branches work. And the ferns in the front, I could do that. So I'm color blocking this painting. And what that means is I'm making lots of decisions, but I'm just getting all my colors done and placed, and my values mostly decided on. And the next level, the next stage, after I've let it dry for a day or so, because acrylics dry dark, will be me coming in with the push and pull and the crisping up and the line. And just so you know, I have done a video that is going to come out next about the finishing of these 3 paintings that I color block. And I don't usually do finishing paintings because I get intimidated with the camera on, but I'm trying to beat that. And so you're going to be able to see me finishing these paintings. So I'm going to put a little bit of music on, and you can enjoy the color blocking of these 3 12 by 12s, which are going to be in, like I said at the beginning of the video, in my square foot show that is coming up November 13th. I got that now. And they will all be $350. They're all the same price. Usually, if you're buying my square foot paintings not at a square foot show, directly from me, they're $600 in my gallery and $600 directly from me here in the studio. And so it is a deal. And this December show is a curated show where I have invited personally. People did not apply for this show. These are artists that I invited personally. So it is what I consider, one of our top shows with artists that you're going to want to see, you're going to want to collect, and you're going to want to add their work to your walls. And you can go to squarefootshow.com to do that and sign up for the 48-hour preview, register, and you will actually register to win a piece by me. And it's always exciting when I get to send out that prize. So, okay, I'm going to put on some music. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments, and I'll see you at the end of the video. I'll be back.
Down on the banks of the Old Man River, heavy air calling rain. They say if she keeps up and delivers, the levee will break again. Tell me, what could you do then when the river comes a-calling? Bend a knee and pray that you can stay in the good grace of the water. Storm, she stalled and danced. Days of rain and wind and mist hanging in the valley, victim of a circumstance. Try your hand at sand, but no, the banks ain't holding. Old Man River rising 3 foot by the hour. Drop your bags and run, you know surrender time has come to the water. High still waves are lapping on the bridge down, seascaping in England town. Come on children, make a run for higher ground now. See the fire, hear the siren sound. Surely land will return here, choked up to its neck in yellow mud. From the mountain now we go by foot and march back down to the water. Try on up and every single step it kicks up dust from the water. Oh, how it takes down on the banks of the Old Man River. Down on the banks of the Old Man River, heavy air calling rain. They say if she keeps up and delivers, the levee will break again. Tell me, what could you do then when the river comes a-calling? Bend a knee and pray that you can stay in the good grace of the water. Storm, she stalled and danced. Days of rain and wind and mist hanging in the valley. Victim of a circumstance. Try your hand at sand, but no, the banks ain't holding. Old Man River rising 3 foot by the hour. Drop your bags and run, you know surrender time has come to the water. High still waves are lapping on the bridge down, seascaping in England town. Come on children, make a run for higher ground now. See the fire, hear the siren sound. Surely land will return here, choked up to its neck in yellow mud. From the mountain now we go by foot and march back down to the water. Try on up and every single step it kicks up dust from the water. Oh, how it takes down on the banks of the Old Man River.
I am tired out. I think I am still jet lagged from Japan. It's a 13-hour difference. But what you saw and what we talked about through the video was the color blocking stage. So I'm getting ready for my curated square foot show in November, where I've personally invited, people didn't get to apply to that show. I personally invited the artists that are in that show. So it is a Julie Veenstra curated show. It's going to be great. These 12 by 12s that I just finished, the color blocking, they'll need a second layer. They'll need some crisping up and things like that. But that won't take long. Usually most of the decisions are made during the color blocking stage. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you've just are seeing me, you've never seen me before, I'm Julie Veenstra. I'm a Canadian artist. I should have said that at the very beginning of the video, but it's at the end. I hope you like and subscribe because that helps me and helps the channel, and it'll help you if you're into painting. So we'll see you in the next video. I got so much work to do, so much content to bring you. Bye.